Deep within the shadowed chambers of a forgotten tomb, hidden for centuries beneath layers of dust and silence, an ancient talisman was unearthed. Its surface shimmered faintly, etched with symbols that seemed to pulse with a life of their own, a language of power lost to time. This small, unassuming object carried a weight far beyond its size, whispering secrets of a world where the physical and spiritual intertwined. For thousands of years, talismans like this one have captivated humanity, serving as bridges between realms, tools of protection, and conduits of unseen energy. But what do these artifacts truly hold? What forces lie dormant within their intricate designs, waiting to be unlocked? Today, we embark on a journey to uncover the hidden power of ancient talismans, exploring their origins, their symbolism, and the ways they continue to shape our lives. From the rituals of ancient civilizations to the modern quest for meaning, we'll delve into the mysteries that make these objects so enduringly fascinating. Are they merely relics of the past, or do they still hold the key to unlocking something extraordinary within us? Let's find out. Long before the modern world took shape, ancient civilizations were already crafting talismans, imbuing them with purpose and power. The earliest records of these sacred objects trace back to Mesopotamia, where clay amulets inscribed with prayers to the gods were worn to ward off misfortune and attract divine favor. These small, intricately carved tokens were more than mere decorations. They were believed to channel the energy of the heavens, offering protection and guidance in an unpredictable world. Similarly, in ancient Egypt, talismans like the Eye of Horus symbolized healing, restoration, and the watchful presence of the gods. This iconic symbol, often worn as jewelry or placed in tombs, served as a bridge between the mortal realm and the divine, ensuring safe passage in both life and death. Meanwhile, in China, the Bagua talisman emerged as a powerful tool for harmonizing energies. Its 8 trigrams, representing fundamental forces of nature, were used to balance the flow of Kai, the life force that animates all things. Whether etched into mirrors or carried as pendants, the Bagua was revered for its ability to deflect negative energies and attract prosperity. What's fascinating is how these talismans, despite originating in vastly different cultures, share a common thread: the belief that objects could hold profound spiritual power. From Mesopotamia to Egypt to China, these artifacts reveal a universal human desire to connect with forces beyond our understanding, seeking protection, strength, and meaning in an uncertain world. But what makes these symbols so enduring? It's not just their beauty or craftsmanship, it's the layers of meaning embedded within them. Each line, curve, and symbol tells a story, a coded message passed down through generations. As we explore these ancient designs, we begin to see them not just as relics of the past, but as keys to understanding the beliefs and values of the people who created them. And as we unravel their secrets, we may find that their power isn't confined to history. It's something that still resonates with us today. The moment you hold an ancient talisman in your hand, your eyes are drawn to the intricate patterns carved into its surface, lines, shapes, and symbols that seem to pulse with intention. These are not random designs, they are a language, a coded system of meaning that connects the physical object to the spiritual realm. Each mark, each curve is a deliberate choice, a key to unlocking the talisman's purpose. This is the language of symbols, a universal form of communication that transcends spoken words, reaching directly into the realm of the unseen. Take, for example, the pentagram, a 5-pointed star often associated with protection and balance. In ancient Greece, it represented the harmony of the elements earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. To medieval alchemists, it was a map of the cosmos, a way to align oneself with the forces of nature. Even today, the pentagram appears in modern talismans, its meaning evolving yet retaining its core essence of unity and power. It's a symbol that has traveled across centuries and cultures, adapting to new contexts while preserving its fundamental message. Then there's the Tree of Life, a symbol that appears in countless traditions from the Kabbalah to Norse mythology. Its branches reach toward the heavens, its roots delve deep into the earth, embodying the connection between the divine and the mundane. On talismans, the Tree of Life often serves as a reminder of growth, interconnectedness, and the cyclical nature of existence. It's a symbol that speaks to the soul, offering guidance and insight to those who seek it. But symbols like these are more than just representations. They are conduits. Sacred geometry, for instance, plays a crucial role in shaping the power of talismans. The precise angles and proportions of shapes like the flower of life or the Sri Yantra are believed to resonate with the fundamental structure of the universe. When inscribed on a talisman, these geometric patterns are thought to amplify its energy, aligning it with cosmic forces. It's as if the very fabric of reality is woven into the design, making the talisman a microcosm of the cosmos itself. Astrological symbols, too, have a place in this intricate language. The zodiac signs, planetary glyphs, and celestial alignments found on talismans often reflect the wearer's connection to the stars. In ancient times, talismans inscribed with these symbols were used to harness the power of specific planets or constellations, channeling their influence for protection, wisdom, or healing. Even now, astrological talismans remain popular, a testament to humanity's enduring fascination with the skies above. So how do these symbols communicate with the unseen forces they are meant to influence? The answer lies in the belief that symbols are not just passive images, they are active, living expressions of energy. Each mark is a vibration, a signal sent into the spiritual ether. When crafted with intention and worn with faith, the symbols on a talisman become a dialogue, a way to connect with the forces that shape our world. They are a bridge between the tangible and the intangible, a tool for navigating the mysteries of existence. As we explore these symbols, we begin to see them not just as relics of the past, but as a living language, one that continues to speak to us, offering insights, protection, and connection. They remind us that the world is more than what we see, that there are layers of meaning waiting to be uncovered. And perhaps in understanding their language, we can unlock a deeper understanding of ourselves and the universe we inhabit. The creation of an ancient talisman was never a simple act of craftsmanship. It was a sacred ceremony, a dance between the material and the mystical. Every step, from the selection of materials to the final blessing, was steeped in ritual, designed to infuse the object with power. It began with the choice of substance, whether it was precious metals, rare stones, or even fragments of sacred wood. Each material was believed to carry its own unique energy, a resonance that could amplify the talisman's purpose. Gold, for instance, was often chosen for its connection to the sun and its association with divinity, while obsidian, with its dark, reflective surface, was thought to absorb and repel negative forces. But the process didn't stop there. Timing was everything. In many traditions, the creation of a talisman was tied to celestial events, lunar phases, planetary alignments, or even specific hours of the day. The full moon, with its heightened energy, was often seen as the ideal time to craft talismans for protection or healing. Similarly, the alignment of certain planets could be used to enhance qualities like wisdom, courage, or love. These moments were not chosen arbitrarily. They were believed to open portals to the divine, allowing the artisan to channel cosmic forces directly into the talisman. The rituals themselves were intricate and precise. In ancient Egypt, for example, the crafting of a talisman might involve purification rites, where the artisan would cleanse themselves and their workspace before beginning. Incense would be burned, prayers chanted, and offerings made to the gods, all to create an atmosphere of reverence and focus. The act of carving or inscribing the symbols was done with utmost care, each stroke infused with intention. It wasn't just about the physical act of creation. It was about aligning the mind, body, and spirit with the talisman's purpose. The artisan wasn't merely a maker, they were a conduit, a bridge between the earthly and the divine. One such story comes from medieval Europe, where a group of alchemists devoted their lives to crafting talismans imbued with the power of the stars. These artisans would spend years studying the movements of celestial bodies, waiting for the perfect moment to begin their work. They believed that by aligning their creations with the heavens, they could unlock hidden forces, transforming ordinary objects into vessels of extraordinary power. Their dedication was not just to their craft, but to the belief that they were participating in something greater, a cosmic dance that connected all things. These rituals, though varied across cultures, share a common thread: the belief that the act of creation is itself a sacred act. By infusing every step with intention and reverence, the artisan transforms the talisman from a mere object into a living entity, charged with purpose and power. It's a reminder that the physical and spiritual worlds are not separate but deeply intertwined. The rituals are the bridge, the means by which the unseen becomes tangible and the divine touches the everyday. This connection between the physical and spiritual is perhaps the most profound aspect of talisman creation. The rituals remind us that power is not just in the object itself, but in the process, the intention, and the belief that underpin it. They invite us to consider how we, too, might infuse our own lives with meaning, crafting our own talismans, whether physical or metaphorical, to guide and protect us. In this way, the ancient art of talisman creation becomes not just a historical curiosity, but a timeless practice, one that continues to resonate with our deepest desires for connection and purpose. The materials used in crafting ancient talismans were never chosen at random. Each substance, whether metal, stone, or organic element, was selected with care, not just for its beauty, but for the unique energy it was believed to hold. Gold, for instance, was revered across cultures for its radiant, incorruptible nature, symbolizing the eternal and the divine. In ancient Egypt, gold wasn't just a precious metal. It was considered the flesh of the gods themselves. Talismans made of gold were thought to carry a direct connection to divine power, offering protection and blessings from the heavens above. Its luminous quality made it a natural choice for objects meant to bridge the gap between the earthly and the celestial. But gold wasn't the only material imbued with sacred meaning. Obsidian, a volcanic glass with a deep, reflective surface, was prized for its protective qualities. Its ability to absorb and deflect negative energies made it a favorite for talismans designed to shield the wearer from harm. In Mesoamerican cultures, obsidian mirrors were used by shamans to scry into the spirit world, their dark surfaces acting as portals to the unseen. This duality, absorbing negativity while revealing hidden truths, made obsidian a powerful tool for those seeking both protection and insight. Gemstones, too, played a vital role in the creation of talismans, each one carrying its own symbolic and energetic significance. Take lapis lazuli, the deep blue stone flecked with golden pyrite. In ancient Egypt, this stone was associated with the night sky and the divine realm. Amulets made of lapis lazuli were often placed in tombs to guide the deceased safely into the afterlife, their celestial hue representing the heavens. The stone wasn't just beautiful, it was believed to enhance intuition and spiritual connection, making it a prized material for talismans meant to open the mind to higher wisdom. Organic materials like bone and wood also held a special place in talisman crafting. Bone, often sourced from sacred animals, was thought to carry the essence of the creature's spirit, offering strength, courage, or wisdom to the wearer. In Norse traditions, runic talismans carved from bone were used to invoke the power of the gods, each rune a direct link to the divine. Wood, on the other hand, was valued for its connection to nature and the life force that flows through all living things. Talismans made from specific types of wood, like oak or cedar, were believed to harness the energy of the earth itself, grounding the wearer and offering stability in times of turmoil. The choice of material wasn't just about symbolism, it was about resonance. Each substance was believed to vibrate at a specific frequency, aligning with the talisman's intended purpose. A talisman for protection might be crafted from obsidian, its dense energy forming an impenetrable shield. One for healing could incorporate rose quartz, its soft, nurturing vibration promoting emotional balance and physical well-being. The material became an extension of the talisman's power, amplifying its effects and ensuring its connection to the forces it was meant to influence. But the materials themselves were only part of the equation. Once chosen, they had to be infused with energy, a process that transformed them from mere objects into vessels of power. This energy infusion was the final, crucial step in talisman creation, a ritual that breathed life into the materials and activated their potential. Whether through chants, prayers, or sacred ceremonies, the act of charging a talisman was believed to awaken its latent power, turning it into a living, dynamic force. And as we'll see next, this process of energy infusion is where the true magic of talismans comes to life. The moment a talisman is completed, it's more than just an object, it's a vessel waiting to be activated. Across ancient cultures, the final step in creating these sacred artifacts was the infusion of energy, a process that transformed them from inert materials into powerful tools. This wasn't just a symbolic act, it was a deeply spiritual ritual, a way of charging the talisman with the very essence of its purpose. Whether through prayer, meditation, or elaborate ceremonies, the goal was the same: to align the talisman with the cosmic forces it was meant to harness. Take, for example, the ancient practice of chanting. In many traditions, specific words or phrases, often in sacred languages, were repeated over the talisman, their vibrations believed to awaken its latent power. These chants weren't just sounds, they were thought to carry the energy of the divine, imprinting the talisman with its intended purpose. Similarly, the use of incense, water, or fire in charging rituals wasn't merely ceremonial. Each element was chosen for its symbolic resonance, creating a multisensory experience that amplified the talisman's connection to the spiritual realm. But how does this process work? Why did ancient cultures believe that energy could be transferred into an object through intention and ritual? One way to understand this is through the lens of energy healing, a concept that has parallels in both ancient and modern practices. Just as energy healers today work with the body's subtle energy fields to promote balance and well-being, ancient artisans saw talismans as conduits for channeling universal energy. The rituals they performed were a way of attuning the talisman to these forces, creating a bridge between the physical and the metaphysical. This idea isn't as far-fetched as it might seem. Modern science has begun to explore the power of intention and belief, particularly in fields like psychology and neuroscience. The placebo effect, for instance, demonstrates how belief alone can trigger real physiological changes in the body. If the mind can influence the body in such profound ways, could it also influence objects? Some researchers suggest that the energy we attribute to talismans might be a manifestation of our own belief systems, amplified through ritual and focus. In this view, the power of a talisman isn't just in the object itself, but in the energy we invest in it through our intentions and actions. Of course, this raises an intriguing question. Is there a scientific basis for the power of talismans? While we may not yet have definitive answers, studies on the effects of meditation, prayer, and focused intention suggest that there's more to these practices than mere superstition. For instance, research has shown that focused thought can influence outcomes, from reducing stress to improving physical health. If our minds can shape our reality in measurable ways, it's not hard to imagine how the same principles could apply to talismans. Perhaps the rituals used to charge these objects are a way of focusing and directing energy, creating a tangible link between the spiritual and the material. What's fascinating is how these ancient practices continue to resonate today. Whether it's a modern energy healer using crystals to balance chakras or someone wearing a talisman for protection, the underlying principle remains the same: the belief that energy can be channeled through objects to influence our lives. This enduring connection between the ancient and the modern suggests that talismans are more than just relics of the past. They are a testament to humanity's ongoing quest to understand and harness the unseen forces that shape our world. As we reflect on the science of energy infusion, we're reminded that the power of talismans lies not just in their materials or symbols, but in the rituals and beliefs that bring them to life. Whether viewed through the lens of ancient spirituality or modern science, these objects invite us to explore the boundaries of what we know and what we might yet discover. Throughout history, talismans have not only been physical objects of power, but also central figures in the myths and legends that define cultures. These stories, passed down through generations, reveal a universal longing for connection, protection, and transformation, desires that talismans have come to embody. One of the most famous examples is the Ring of Gyges, a tale from ancient Greek philosophy. According to the myth, this ring granted its wearer the power of invisibility, allowing them to act without consequences. While it might seem like a simple story of magic, it delves deeper into questions of morality and human nature. What would we do if we could act without being seen? The ring becomes a symbol of both power and temptation, reflecting humanity's fascination with control over fate and destiny. Moving from philosophy to legend, the Holy Grail stands as one of the most enduring symbols of divine connection. Often depicted as a chalice or cup, the Grail is said to possess the power to grant eternal life or infinite wisdom. In Arthurian tales, knights embark on perilous quests to find it, not just for its physical form but for what it represents, a bridge between the mortal and the divine. The Grail isn't just a talisman, it's a metaphor for the ultimate spiritual journey, a reminder that the greatest treasures are often found within ourselves. But not all talismans are shrouded in grand quests or philosophical dilemmas. Some emerge from the heart of everyday life, like the Celtic Cladog ring. Originating in Ireland, this simple yet profound design features two hands clasping a heart topped with a crown. It's a symbol of love, loyalty, and friendship, often passed down through generations as a family heirloom. Unlike the Grail or the Ring of Gyges, the Cladog ring isn't about extraordinary powers, it's about the ordinary yet profound connections that define our lives. It reminds us that talismans can be as much about human relationships as they are about supernatural forces. Then there's Mjolnir, the mighty hammer of Thor in Norse mythology. More than just a weapon, Mjolnir was a symbol of protection and strength, often worn as an amulet by warriors and common folk alike. Its power wasn't just in its ability to strike down enemies, but in its role as a guardian against chaos and destruction. In a world filled with uncertainty, Mjolnir represented stability and order, a force that could be carried close to the heart. Even today, replicas of Thor's hammer are worn as talismans, a testament to its enduring cultural impact. These stories, whether grand or intimate, share a common theme. Talismans are more than objects, they are mirrors of our deepest hopes and fears. They reflect our desire to protect what we hold dear, to transform ourselves, and to connect with something greater. But what's fascinating is how these myths continue to resonate in real life. The same symbols that appear in ancient tales, rings, cups, hammers, are still worn and revered today, often carrying the same meanings they did centuries ago. It's as if the line between myth and reality blurs when it comes to talismans, reminding us that the stories we tell shape the objects we cherish. This connection between myth and reality invites us to consider how talismans function in our own lives. Are they simply reminders of the past, or do they still hold the power to influence our present? The answer might lie not in the objects themselves, but in the stories we attach to them. Just as the Ring of Judges challenges us to reflect on our choices, and the Cladog ring celebrates the bonds of love, talismans today continue to serve as touchstones for our values, aspirations, and identities. They are not just relics of ancient times, but living symbols evolving with us as we navigate the complexities of modern life. By exploring these myths and their real-world counterparts, we gain a deeper understanding of why talismans have endured for so long. They are more than artifacts, they are vessels for the human spirit, carrying our hopes, fears, and dreams across time and space. Whether through the thunderous might of Mjolnir or the quiet devotion of the Cladog ring, talismans remind us that the stories we tell and the objects we treasure are a reflection of who we are and who we aspire to be. And perhaps in that reflection we find a little bit of magic. Among the countless talismans that have captured the human imagination, few are as legendary as the Seal of Solomon. This ancient symbol, often depicted as a six-pointed star or hexagram, is said to have been wielded by King Solomon himself, granting him dominion over spirits, demons, and the natural world. According to Jewish, Islamic, and Christian traditions, the seal was not merely a symbol of power but a tool for achieving harmony between the earthly and the divine. Solomon used it to command the elements, cure illnesses, and even construct the first temple in Jerusalem. The seal's intricate design, combining upward and downward triangles, represents the balance of opposites, heaven and earth, male and female, fire and water. It's a reminder that true power lies in unity, a concept that resonated deeply in the ancient world and continues to inspire seekers of wisdom today. Equally fascinating is the Aztec sunstone, a massive carved disc often referred to as the calendar stone. Though not a talisman in the traditional sense, this artifact served as a cosmic map, guiding the Aztecs in their understanding of time, creation, and the gods. At its center is the face of Tonatiuh, the sun god, surrounded by intricate symbols representing the four previous eras of creation and the elements that sustained life. For the Aztecs, the sunstone was more than a calendar. It was a sacred object that connected them to the rhythms of the universe. Its discovery centuries later sparked awe and intrigue, offering modern audiences a glimpse into a civilization that saw time and divinity as inseparable. Then there's the Abraxas stone, a talisman rooted in Gnostic traditions, often carved with the figure of a creature combining human and animal traits. Abraxas was believed to embody the totality of existence, both light and dark, good and evil. This paradoxical figure was seen as a protector, a guide through the complexities of life and the mysteries of the cosmos. The talismanic stones bearing his image were carried by believers to ward off harm and gain spiritual insight. What makes Abraxas so compelling is its representation of duality, a theme that resonates across cultures and philosophies. It reminds us that power often lies in embracing the full spectrum of existence, not just the parts we find comfortable. These talismans, though vastly different in origin and design, share a common thread. They were deeply woven into the fabric of the societies that created them. The Seal of Solomon wasn't just a ruler's tool. It was a symbol of divine wisdom and justice, influencing art, architecture, and religious thought for centuries. The Aztec sunstone shaped not only the Aztec calendar but their entire worldview, informing rituals, agriculture, and governance. and the Abraxas stone, with its enigmatic figure, offered a framework for understanding the complexities of life and the universe. But these artifacts weren't confined to the realms of kings and priests. Talismans played a role in everyday life too. Ordinary people carried amulets for protection, fertility, and good fortune. A farmer might wear a talisman to ensure a bountiful harvest, while a traveler might carry one for safe passage. These objects were practical tools as much as spiritual ones, bridging the gap between the sacred and the mundane. They remind us that talismans weren't just for the elite. They were a universal language, a way for people to connect with the forces that shaped their lives. This connection between the extraordinary and the everyday is what makes talismans so enduringly fascinating. They're not just relics of the past, they're windows into the hopes, fears, and aspirations of the people who created them. Whether it's the seal of Solomon's quest for balance, the Aztec sun stone's reverence for time, or the Abraxas stone's embrace of duality, these artifacts continue to speak to us across the centuries. They invite us to reflect on our own lives, our own struggles, and our own search for meaning in an uncertain world. And perhaps in their stories we can find a little bit of ourselves. In ancient societies, talismans weren't just reserved for kings, priests, or heroes. They were woven into the fabric of everyday life, serving as tools of empowerment for ordinary people. Imagine a farmer in ancient Mesopotamia clutching a small clay figurine as he sowed his fields, believing it would bring a bountiful harvest, or a pregnant woman in Rome wearing a bulla, a protective amulet around her neck to safeguard her unborn child. These were not superstitious trinkets but deeply meaningful objects, crafted to address the universal human needs for safety, health, and prosperity. Across cultures, talismans played a vital role in helping people navigate the uncertainties of life, offering a sense of control in a world often shaped by forces beyond their understanding. One of the most common uses of talismans was for protection, particularly during vulnerable moments. In ancient Rome, children wore bullae, small pouches containing protective charms from birth until they reached adulthood. These amulets were believed to shield them from harm, whether from illness, accidents, or malevolent spirits. Similarly, in West Africa, grai bags, small pouches filled with herbs, stones, or written prayers, were carried by individuals to ward off misfortune and attract good fortune. These everyday talismans weren't just about physical protection. They provided emotional reassurance, a tangible reminder that someone was watching over them. Healing, too, was a central purpose of many talismans. In ancient Egypt, amulets shaped like the Eye of Horus were worn to promote recovery from illness or injury. The symbol, representing restoration and wholeness, was thought to channel the healing energy of the gods. Meanwhile, in medieval Europe, talismans inscribed with prayers or sacred symbols were often placed under the pillows of the sick, believed to accelerate their recovery. These practices reveal a universal belief in the power of symbols to influence health and well-being, bridging the gap between the physical and spiritual realms. For those embarking on journeys, whether across land or sea, talismans offered a sense of security. Travelers in ancient Greece often carried small carvings of Hermes, the god of travel, to ensure safe passage. In Norse cultures, runic talismans were inscribed with symbols for protection and guidance, helping sailors navigate treacherous waters. These objects were more than just good luck charms. They were companions, silent guardians that reminded travelers they were not alone in facing the unknown. Agriculture, the lifeblood of many ancient societies, also saw the widespread use of talismans. Farmers in ancient China carried tokens inscribed with symbols for rain and fertility, hoping to ensure a successful harvest. In the Americas, indigenous peoples often buried small figurines in their fields, believing they would attract the favor of the earth spirits. These practices highlight the deep connection between humans and the natural world, and the desire to harmonize with the forces that sustained life. What's striking about these everyday talismans is how they reflect the shared concerns and aspirations of people across time and place. Whether it's a Roman mother protecting her child, a West African traveler seeking safety, or a farmer praying for rain, the objects they carried tell a story of resilience and hope. They remind us that despite the vast differences in culture and belief, humanity has always sought ways to connect with the unseen forces that shape our lives. Over time, these practices evolved, adapting to new contexts and beliefs. The protective bully of ancient Rome gave way to the Christian crosses of medieval Europe, while the grai bags of West Africa influenced the creation of similar charms in the Americas. Yet, the essence of these talismans remained the same: a bridge between the human and the divine, a tool for navigating the uncertainties of life. And as we'll see next, this evolution didn't stop in the ancient world. It continues to shape how we use talismans today. From the dusty tombs of ancient Egypt to the bustling markets of medieval Europe, talismans have undergone a remarkable evolution, adapting to the shifting tides of human belief and innovation. In their earliest forms, talismans were deeply rooted in animism and polytheistic traditions, serving as conduits to gods, spirits, and natural forces. But as societies changed, so too did these sacred objects. The rise of monotheistic religions like Christianity and Islam brought new layers of meaning to talismans, transforming them into symbols of divine favor and spiritual protection. During the medieval period, Christian reliquaries became some of the most revered talismans of the time. These ornate containers, often holding fragments of saints' bones or other holy relics, were believed to carry the spiritual power of the individuals they represented. Pilgrims would travel great distances to touch or pray before these relics, seeking healing, guidance, or forgiveness. The reliquary itself became a talisman, a physical embodiment of faith and connection to the divine. Similarly, in the Islamic world, talismanic scripts often inscribed on parchment, metal, or stone gained prominence. These intricate designs, featuring verses from the Quran or the names of Allah, were carried as amulets or hung in homes for protection and blessings. The artistry and precision of these scripts reflected a deep reverence for the written word as a source of power and divine presence. But the evolution of talismans didn't stop with religion. As societies advanced, so did the materials and techniques used to create these objects. The medieval period saw the rise of alchemy, a practice that blended science, mysticism, and artistry. Alchemists crafted talismans infused with astrological symbols, believing that the alignment of celestial bodies could enhance their potency. These talismans often featured intricate designs and rare materials, from silver and gold to gemstones imbued with planetary energies. The fusion of science and spirituality during this time marked a new chapter in the history of talismans, one that reflected humanity's growing curiosity about the natural and supernatural worlds. Fast forward to the Renaissance, and talismans began to take on a more personal dimension. With the rise of individualism and humanism, people sought talismans that reflected their unique identities and aspirations. Personalized amulets engraved with initials, family crests, or symbolic imagery became popular among the elite. These objects weren't just about protection or spiritual connection. They were expressions of identity, status, and personal belief. The Renaissance also saw a renewed interest in classical antiquity, leading to the revival of ancient talismanic symbols like the pentagram and the tree of life, now reinterpreted through the lens of contemporary philosophy and art. In more recent centuries, the Industrial Revolution brought mass production, making talismans more accessible to the general public. No longer reserved for the wealthy or the devout, these objects became part of everyday life, from lucky charms carried in pockets to decorative amulets worn as jewelry. Yet, even as their forms became more commercialized, the essence of talismans remained unchanged: a belief in their power to influence our lives. whether through luck, protection, or spiritual connection. Today, we're witnessing a resurgence of interest in talismans, driven by a growing fascination with spirituality, self-discovery, and the mystical. Modern talismans take many forms, from minimalist jewelry inscribed with meaningful symbols to digital designs shared across social media. They reflect our desire to connect with something greater, whether it's the natural world, the cosmos, or our own inner selves. This renewed appreciation for talismans speaks to their enduring relevance, a testament to their ability to adapt and evolve alongside humanity. As we look back on the journey of talismans through the ages, we're reminded that these objects are more than just artifacts. They are mirrors of our collective hopes, fears, and aspirations. From ancient rituals to modern mindfulness, talismans continue to bridge the gap between the seen and the unseen, offering us a tangible connection to the mysteries of existence. And as we move forward, they invite us to explore not just the world around us, but the depths of our own potential. In today's world, ancient talismans have found new life, reinterpreted through the lens of modern culture. What began as sacred objects steeped in ritual and belief have now become symbols of personal expression, spirituality, and even fashion. Take, for instance, the resurgence of crystal healing. Once reserved for esoteric practices, crystals like amethyst, rose quartz, and clear quartz are now mainstream, adorning everything from necklaces to home decor. These stones, believed to carry specific energies, are chosen not just for their beauty, but for their perceived ability to promote healing, balance, and clarity. It's a fascinating blend of ancient wisdom and contemporary wellness trends, showing how talismans continue to evolve to meet the needs of the modern world. Rune stones, too, have experienced a revival. Originally used by Norse and Germanic peoples for divination and communication with the divine, these inscribed stones are now popular tools for self-reflection and guidance. Whether cast in a ritual or simply kept as a pocket talisman, runes offer a tangible way to explore life's uncertainties, connecting us to a tradition that spans centuries. Their appeal lies in their simplicity and universality, a reminder that some questions transcend time and that answers often lie within us, waiting to be uncovered. Fashion has also embraced the allure of talismans, transforming them into stylish accessories with deeper meaning. From delicate pendants featuring the tree of life to bold rings adorned with astrological symbols, these pieces allow wearers to carry a piece of history and a touch of magic into their daily lives. It's not just about aesthetics, it's about identity. A talisman worn as jewelry becomes a personal statement, a way to express values, aspirations, or even a connection to one's heritage. In this way, ancient symbols are given new relevance, bridging the gap between tradition and modernity. But why do these objects resonate so deeply in our contemporary world? Part of the answer lies in their psychological impact. Talismans, whether ancient or modern, tap into something primal within us, a need for meaning, connection, and control in an often chaotic world. Studies have shown that carrying or wearing a talisman can provide a sense of comfort and empowerment, acting as a psychological anchor in times of stress or uncertainty. This phenomenon, known as the placebo effect of belief, highlights how our minds can influence our experiences. When we believe in the power of a talisman, that belief alone can shape our reality, offering reassurance and focus. At the same time, modern talismans also reflect a broader cultural shift toward mindfulness and self-care. In a fast-paced, technology-driven world, these objects serve as reminders to slow down, reflect, and reconnect with ourselves and the world around us. A crystal held during meditation, a rune drawn for guidance, or a pendant worn as a symbol of strength. All of these carry the weight of intention, turning everyday actions into meaningful rituals. They remind us that the sacred isn't confined to temples or ancient texts. It can be found in the small, intentional moments of our lives. This blending of ancient and modern, spiritual and practical, speaks to the enduring relevance of talismans. They are more than just objects. They are tools for navigating the complexities of life, offering a sense of continuity in a world that often feels fragmented. Whether we turn to them for comfort, inspiration, or simply as a way to connect with something greater, talismans remind us that the past is never truly lost. It lives on in the stories we tell, the symbols we cherish, and the ways we choose to carry them forward. And as we explore their impact on our lives, we may find that their true power lies not in the objects themselves, but in the meanings Chinese letter them. The allure of talismans isn't just rooted in their ancient origins or mystical symbolism. It's deeply tied to something within us, a fundamental aspect of human psychology. Why, in an age of science and technology, do so many of us still feel drawn to these objects? The answer lies in the intricate ways our minds work, shaping our beliefs and experiences in ways that are both profound and deeply personal. At the heart of this attraction is the placebo effect, a phenomenon where belief alone can influence outcomes. When someone carries a talisman, believing it will protect them or bring good fortune, that belief can create real psychological and even physical effects. Studies have shown that the placebo effect isn't just all in the mind. It triggers measurable changes in the brain, releasing neurotransmitters that can reduce stress, boost confidence, and even alleviate pain. In this way, a talisman becomes more than an object. It becomes a catalyst for self-empowerment. But the power of talismans goes beyond the placebo effect. Cognitive biases also play a significant role in why we're drawn to them. One such bias is the confirmation bias, where we tend to notice and remember events that align with our beliefs while overlooking those that don't. If someone wears a talisman for good luck and experiences a positive outcome, they're likely to attribute that success to the talisman, reinforcing their belief in its power. Over time, this creates a feedback loop where the talisman becomes a trusted companion, a symbol of hope and certainty in an unpredictable world. It's not just about the object itself, it's about the stories we tell ourselves and the meaning we assign to it. Another layer to consider is the human need for symbols of hope and protection. In times of uncertainty or stress, talismans offer a sense of stability, a tangible anchor in the face of life's challenges. This is especially evident in high-pressure environments, where people often turn to lucky charms or rituals to boost their confidence. Athletes, for example, are known to carry talismans or perform pre-game rituals to calm their nerves and focus their energy. These practices aren't about superstition, they're about creating a mental framework for success. By externalizing their hopes and fears into a talisman, individuals can channel their emotions into something concrete, giving them a sense of control and purpose. Anecdotes and studies alike highlight the real-world impact of this psychological dynamic. One famous example comes from the world of sports, where a basketball player might wear the same pair of socks during a winning streak, convinced they're the source of their success. While the socks themselves hold no magical properties, the player's belief in them can enhance focus, reduce anxiety, and even improve performance. Similarly, in a study on the effects of lucky charms, researchers found that participants who carried a lucky object performed better on tasks and felt more confident than those who didn't. The talisman didn't change the task, it changed the mindset of the person holding it. What's fascinating is how this psychological framework extends beyond individual experiences to shape collective behavior. In times of crisis, communities often create shared talismans or symbols to unite and uplift their members. During World War II, for instance, soldiers carried small religious medals or family photos, not just as personal keepsakes but as sources of collective strength. These objects became symbols of resilience, reminding them of what they were fighting for and the connections that sustained them. This communal aspect of talismans underscores their role not just as personal tools but as bridges between individuals, fostering a sense of belonging and shared purpose. But perhaps the most profound aspect of talismans is their potential for personal transformation. By serving as focal points for intention and belief, they can help us align our actions with our deepest values and aspirations. A talisman isn't just a passive object, it's a mirror, reflecting back the qualities we wish to cultivate within ourselves. Whether it's courage, resilience, or clarity, the power of a talisman lies in its ability to remind us of who we are and who we can become. In this way, these ancient objects continue to play a vital role in our modern lives, not just as relics of the past, but as tools for shaping our future. And as we explore their impact, we begin to see that their true magic lies not in their physical form, but in the stories we tell and the beliefs we hold. Talismans have long been seen as bridges to the divine or protective shields against harm, but in today's world, they've taken on a new role, tools for personal growth and transformation. Imagine holding an object that not only carries centuries of symbolism, but also reflects your own journey, your goals, and your dreams. This is the power of personal talismans, objects infused with intention, designed to help us navigate life's challenges and unlock our potential. Whether it's a small stone etched with a meaningful word or a piece of jewelry crafted to represent a specific aspiration, these objects become mirrors of our inner world, guiding us toward the changes we wish to see in ourselves. Creating a personal talisman begins with intention. It's not just about selecting a beautiful object, it's about infusing it with purpose. For example, someone seeking to overcome a fear might choose a piece of obsidian, known for its protective qualities, and carve a symbol of courage into its surface. Every time they hold the talisman, they're reminded of their goal, reinforcing their resolve and focus. This process of intention setting transforms the talisman from a passive object into an active ally, a tangible representation of the change they wish to manifest. Take the story of a young artist who struggled with self-doubt. She created a talisman from a piece of rose quartz, a stone associated with self-love and creativity, and inscribed it with the word believe. Carrying it with her during exhibitions, she found it became a source of quiet strength, a reminder to trust her vision and embrace her unique voice. Over time, the talisman helped her shift her mindset, turning moments of doubt into opportunities for growth. Stories like this highlight how personal talismans can serve as anchors, grounding us in our intentions and helping us stay aligned with our deepest values. But the journey doesn't end with creation. Using a talisman for personal growth often involves rituals that deepen its connection to your goals. Meditating with it, holding it during moments of reflection, or simply wearing it as a daily reminder can help reinforce its purpose. These practices aren't about superstition, they're about creating a mental and emotional framework for change. By engaging with the talisman in meaningful ways, we activate its symbolic power, turning it into a catalyst for transformation. This practice isn't limited to individuals, it's also woven into spiritual traditions around the world. In many cultures, talismans are used in meditation or prayer to enhance focus and intention. For instance, Buddhist practitioners might use a mala, a string of beads to count mantras, each bead a step closer to clarity and enlightenment. Similarly, in Wiccan traditions, talismans are often charged during rituals, their energy aligned with the phases of the moon or the cycles of nature. These spiritual practices remind us that talismans are more than personal tools. They're part of a larger tapestry of belief, connecting us to the rhythms of the universe. What's striking about talismans for personal growth is their versatility. They can be as simple or as elaborate as you desire, tailored to your unique journey. A student preparing for exams might carry a talisman inscribed with a symbol of wisdom, while someone navigating a career transition might choose one representing resilience and adaptability. The key is to make it personal, to imbue it with meaning that resonates deeply with your aspirations and challenges. As we explore the role of talismans in personal growth, we're reminded that their power lies not just in their history or symbolism, but in the stories we attach to them. They become extensions of our inner world, tools for self-discovery and transformation. And in a world that often feels overwhelming, they offer a way to ground ourselves, to focus on what truly matters, and to take tangible steps toward the life we envision. Whether through ancient rituals or modern mindfulness, talismans continue to inspire us, reminding us that the journey of growth is both deeply personal and profoundly universal. Talismans have long been integral to spiritual practices across the globe, serving as sacred tools in rituals, meditation, and prayer. In Wicca, for example, talismans are often crafted during specific lunar phases or seasonal festivals, their creation imbued with intention and energy. A Wiccan practitioner might carve a symbol of protection into a piece of wood under the light of a full moon, infusing it with the power of that celestial moment. These talismans are not just objects, they are extensions of the practitioner's will, conduits for channeling energy toward a specific purpose, whether it's healing, guidance, or transformation. The act of creating and using them becomes a deeply personal ritual, a way to align with the rhythms of nature and the unseen forces that shape our lives. In Buddhism, talismans take on a different yet equally profound role. Prayer beads or malas are a common example, used to count mantras during meditation. Each bead represents a step on the path to enlightenment, a tangible reminder of the journey toward inner peace and clarity. For many practitioners, the act of moving through the beads becomes a meditative practice in itself, grounding them in the present moment and helping to quiet the mind. Beyond malas, Buddhist talismans often feature sacred symbols like the lotus or the Dharma wheel, each carrying layers of meaning that guide the practitioner toward deeper understanding and spiritual growth. These objects are not just aids for meditation, they are companions on the path to awakening. Similarly, in Hinduism, talismans known as yantras are used as visual tools for meditation and worship. These intricate geometric designs, often inscribed on metal or paper, represent the energy of specific deities or cosmic principles. When a practitioner focuses on a yantra during meditation, it serves as a focal point, helping to align their mind with the divine energy it embodies. The process is both an act of devotion and a method for cultivating inner harmony, illustrating how talismans can bridge the gap between the material and the spiritual. But the use of talismans in spiritual practices isn't limited to ancient traditions. In modern paganism, for instance, talismans are often created to honor the elements or invoke the energy of specific deities. A practitioner might carry a talisman representing the element of water to cultivate emotional balance, or wear one dedicated to a goddess of wisdom to enhance clarity and insight. These objects become personal symbols of connection, helping individuals to embody the qualities they wish to cultivate in their lives. What unites these diverse traditions is the belief that talismans are more than physical objects, they are tools for transformation. Whether used in meditation, prayer, or ritual, they serve as bridges between the mundane and the sacred, helping practitioners to access higher states of consciousness or connect with divine forces. This connection is deeply personal, shaped by the intentions and beliefs of the individual. A talisman's power lies not just in its form or symbolism, but in the relationship between the object and the person who carries it. This relationship often extends into the realm of healing. In many spiritual traditions, talismans are used to promote physical, emotional, or spiritual well-being. For example, a crystal talisman might be placed on the body during a healing ritual to channel energy toward a specific area, or a talisman inscribed with a healing prayer might be worn as a constant reminder of renewal and strength. The belief is that these objects can help to balance energy, release blockages, and restore harmony, offering a tangible way to engage with the healing process. As we explore the role of talismans in spiritual practices, we begin to see them as more than artifacts of belief. They are active participants in the journey of growth and transformation. They remind us that the sacred is not distant or abstract, but something we can carry with us, a source of strength and connection in our daily lives. Whether through ancient rituals or modern adaptations, talismans continue to inspire and empower, offering a way to navigate the complexities of existence with intention and grace. And as we consider their potential for healing, we uncover yet another layer of their enduring magic. For centuries, talismans have been revered not just as objects of protection or symbols of spiritual connection, but as powerful tools for healing. Whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, the belief in their restorative power has transcended cultures and time, offering a fascinating glimpse into the intersection of faith and well-being. Take gemstone talismans, for instance. In alternative medicine practices like crystal healing, stones such as amethyst, rose quartz, and turquoise are believed to carry specific energies that can restore balance and promote healing. Amethyst, with its calming violet hue, is often used to alleviate stress and enhance mental clarity, while rose quartz is cherished for its ability to open the heart to love and compassion. These stones aren't just decorative, they're seen as conduits for energy, capable of influencing the body's subtle systems and fostering a sense of harmony. This belief in the healing power of talismans isn't limited to modern practices. In ancient Egypt, amulets shaped like the Eye of Horus were commonly placed on the bodies of the sick or injured, believed to channel the god's restorative energy. Similarly, in traditional Chinese medicine, jade talismans were worn or carried to promote longevity and vitality, their smooth, cool surfaces thought to balance the body's internal energies. These practices reveal a universal understanding that healing is not just a physical process but a holistic one, involving the mind, body, and spirit. Talismans, in this context, become more than objects. They are tools for aligning these aspects of ourselves, helping to restore wholeness and health. The role of talismans in healing is deeply intertwined with faith. In many cultures, the act of wearing or carrying a healing amulet is an expression of trust in the unseen forces that govern our lives. This faith, in turn, can have a profound psychological impact. Studies have shown that belief in the efficacy of a healing object, whether a talisman or a placebo, can trigger real physiological responses, from reduced stress levels to improved immune function. This phenomenon, often referred to as the faith effect, highlights how the mind and body are deeply connected. A talisman, then, becomes a focal point for this belief, amplifying its potential to bring about healing. But the healing power of talismans isn't just about belief, it's also about intention. In many spiritual traditions, the act of creating or charging a talisman involves infusing it with a specific purpose, whether it's to heal a physical ailment, soothe emotional pain, or restore spiritual balance. For example, in Reiki, a form of energy healing, practitioners often use talismans to focus and direct healing energy toward a recipient. The talisman becomes a conduit, a way to channel intention into action, creating a tangible link between the healer and the person being healed. This idea of intention extends beyond individual practices to collective rituals. In some indigenous traditions, talismans are used in communal healing ceremonies, where the combined energy of the group amplifies their power. A Native American medicine bag, for instance, might contain stones, herbs, and other sacred objects, each chosen for its specific healing properties. The bag itself becomes a talisman, a repository of collective wisdom and energy passed down through generations. These traditions remind us that healing is not just a personal journey but a communal one, rooted in shared beliefs and practices. As we explore the healing powers of talismans, it's impossible to ignore their protective qualities. Many healing talismans also serve as shields, warding off negative energies or influences that could disrupt balance and well-being. The Hamsa hand, a symbol found in Middle Eastern and North African cultures, is a perfect example. Often worn as an amulet, its open palm is believed to deflect harm while inviting blessings and healing. This duality, protection and restoration, highlights the multifaceted nature of talismans, showing how they can address both the causes and symptoms of imbalance. What's remarkable is how these ancient beliefs continue to resonate in our modern world. Whether it's a crystal worn for emotional healing, a prayer bead used in meditation, or a family amulet passed down through generations, talismans remain a powerful tool for navigating life's challenges. They remind us that healing is not just about treating symptoms but about addressing the deeper roots of imbalance, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual. And in a world that often feels fragmented, they offer a way to reconnect with the forces that sustain and restore us. As we delve deeper into their protective qualities, we'll see how these objects continue to serve as guardians, not just of our health, but of our very essence. Throughout history, talismans have served as more than just symbols of faith or tools for healing. They've been trusted guardians, shielding their wearers from harm in a world filled with unseen dangers. From ancient amulets to intricately designed charms, these objects were believed to create an invisible barrier, a shield of energy that could deflect misfortune, illness, or malevolent forces. Among the most iconic of these protective talismans is the Hamsa hand, a symbol that transcends cultures and religions. With its open palm and intricate designs, the Hamsa is said to ward off the evil eye, a curse believed to bring bad luck or harm. In Middle Eastern and North African traditions, it's not just an amulet, it's a lifeline, a reminder of divine protection that has been passed down through generations. Equally fascinating is the evil eye itself, a symbol that has appeared in countless forms across the globe. From the Nazar amulets of Turkey to the blue glass charms of Greece, the evil eye talisman is designed to reflect negative energy back to its source. The belief is that envy or ill will can manifest as a force capable of causing harm, and the talisman acts as a mirror, turning that negativity away. It's a concept that speaks to a universal human fear, the fear of unseen malice, and offers a tangible way to counteract it. These talismans weren't just decorative, they were armor for the soul, worn close to the body to ensure constant protection. But the role of talismans in protection extended beyond personal wear. In many cultures, they were used to safeguard entire communities or spaces. In ancient Rome, for example, protective amulets were often buried at the thresholds of homes to prevent evil spirits from entering. Similarly, in medieval Europe, talismanic symbols were carved into doorways or painted on walls, turning entire buildings into fortresses of spiritual defense. This collective use of talismans highlights their versatility, showing how they could serve both individual and communal needs. Perhaps one of the most dramatic uses of protective talismans was in warfare. Soldiers throughout history carried amulets into battle, believing these objects could shield them from harm or even grant them supernatural strength. Viking warriors, for instance, wore Thor's hammer pendants, not just as symbols of their faith but as talismans of protection and victory. In feudal Japan, samurai carried small, intricately crafted charms inscribed with prayers or symbols to ensure their safety on the battlefield. These talismans were more than just good luck charms. They were psychological lifelines, offering warriors a sense of invincibility in the face of death. The belief in these protective objects wasn't just about superstition, it was about survival. In a world where danger could come from any direction, talismans provided a way to assert control, to create a sense of safety in an unpredictable environment. They were tools of empowerment, allowing individuals to face their fears with confidence. And while the forms and symbols of these talismans varied across cultures, their purpose remained the same: to create a shield not just of physical protection but of emotional and spiritual resilience. As we explore these protective talismans, it's impossible not to marvel at their enduring relevance. From the Hamsa hand to the evil eye, from ancient battlefields to modern homes, these objects remind us of humanity's enduring quest for safety and security. They speak to a universal truth that even in the face of uncertainty, we have the power to protect ourselves, to create boundaries that keep harm at bay. And as we'll see next, this protective power wasn't confined to the physical realm. It extended into the spiritual, offering a way to navigate the unseen forces that shape our lives. In the chaos of battle, where survival often hinges on a razor's edge, talismans have long been a source of strength and reassurance for warriors. Across cultures and centuries, soldiers have carried these sacred objects into conflict, believing they could tip the scales in their favor. Take the Vikings, for instance. These fierce warriors, known for their unrelenting ferocity in combat, often wore amulets shaped like Thor's hammer, Mjolnir. To them, this symbol wasn't just a piece of jewelry. It was a direct link to the god of thunder, a source of divine protection and unmatched power. The hammer was more than a weapon. It was a promise of victory, a reminder that they fought not just with their own strength but with the favor of the gods. For Viking berserkers who entered battle in a trance-like state of rage, these talismans were especially vital, grounding them in the belief that they were unstoppable forces of nature. Similarly, in feudal Japan, samurai warriors carried amamori, small cloth charms blessed by Shinto or Buddhist priests. These talismans, often inscribed with prayers or sacred symbols, were believed to offer protection, courage, and divine guidance. A samurai might tuck an amamori into their armor or tie it to their sword, trusting it to shield them from harm and ensure victory. The psychological impact of carrying such a talisman cannot be overstated. In the heat of battle, where fear and uncertainty could easily overwhelm, these objects served as anchors, steadying the warrior's mind and fortifying their resolve. They weren't just symbols of faith, they were lifelines connecting the warrior to something greater than themselves. But talismans in warfare weren't limited to individual soldiers. They also played a role in leadership and strategy. In ancient Rome, military commanders often carried talismans inscribed with the names of gods or protective spells, believing these objects would grant them wisdom and favor in battle. The eagle standard, or aquila, carried by Roman legions, was itself a kind of talisman, a sacred symbol of the empire's power and unity. To lose the aquila was considered a catastrophic omen, a sign that the gods had withdrawn their support. This belief in the power of talismans extended to entire armies, shaping not just individual morale but the collective spirit of the troops. The psychological impact of talismans in warfare is a fascinating aspect of their use. In the face of danger, these objects provided a sense of control, a way to assert agency in an unpredictable and often brutal environment. They allowed warriors to externalize their fears and hopes, transforming abstract anxieties into tangible symbols of protection and strength. This wasn't just about superstition, it was about survival. A talisman could mean the difference between courage and despair, between standing firm and faltering under pressure. It's a testament to the power of belief, how something as simple as a carved stone or a piece of cloth could shape the course of a battle. As we consider the role of talismans in warfare, it's clear that their influence extended far beyond the battlefield. They were not just tools for individual soldiers, but symbols of leadership and power, shaping the strategies and morale of entire armies. From Viking hammers to samurai charms, these objects remind us that war is as much a psychological contest as a physical one. And as we turn our attention to their role in leadership, we'll see how talismans have been used not just to protect but to inspire, uniting people under a shared vision of strength and purpose. Beyond the battlefield, talismans have long been wielded by leaders and rulers as symbols of power, legitimacy, and divine favor. These objects weren't just ornamental, they were carefully crafted to convey authority and inspire loyalty. In ancient Egypt, for instance, the pharaoh's scepter was more than a ceremonial staff. It was a talisman of sovereignty, embodying the ruler's connection to the gods. Though scepter, shaped like a stylized animal head, symbolized dominion and control, while the ankh, often held in the pharaoh's hand, represented eternal life and divine blessing. These objects weren't just tools of governance, they were physical manifestations of the ruler's divine right to lead, reinforcing their status as intermediaries between the mortal and the divine. In medieval Europe, coronation regalia took on a similar role. Crowns, orbs, and scepters weren't just symbols of earthly power, they were talismans of divine authority, blessed by the church and imbued with sacred significance. The crown jewels of England, for example, were believed to carry the favor of God, ensuring the monarch's legitimacy and the stability of the realm. The coronation ceremony itself was a ritual of transformation, where the regalia acted as conduits for divine energy, elevating the ruler from an ordinary individual to a chosen leader. Even today, these objects remain potent symbols of continuity and tradition, linking modern monarchs to the sacred lineage of their ancestors. But talismans of leadership weren't limited to crowns and scepters. In ancient Persia, the far or divine glory was a concept embodied in royal talismans. These objects, often adorned with symbols of the sun or stars, were believed to grant the ruler wisdom, strength, and divine approval. To lose the far was to lose the right to rule, a belief that underscored the deep connection between talismans and the legitimacy of leadership. Similarly, in China, the imperial seal was more than a stamp of authority. It was a talisman of cosmic order, ensuring the emperor's mandate from heaven. These objects remind us that leadership in many cultures was seen as a sacred duty, one that required not just skill but spiritual alignment. What's fascinating is how these talismans of power transcended their original contexts, influencing leadership practices across the globe. The Roman fasces, a bundle of rods bound around an axe, symbolized unity and authority, a concept that later influenced European and American political iconography. Even in more recent history, leaders have turned to talismans as symbols of their vision and strength. Napoleon Bonaparte, for example, carried a talismanic ring inscribed with astrological symbols, believing it would protect him and enhance his strategic brilliance. These stories highlight how talismans have been used not just to legitimize authority, but to inspire confidence and command respect. Yet, the role of talismans extends beyond governance and warfare. They've also played a profound role in matters of the heart. From ancient love charms to modern-day tokens of affection, these objects have been used to attract love, strengthen bonds, and protect relationships. In ancient Greece, for instance, couples exchanged amulets shaped like the goddess Aphrodite, invoking her blessings for a harmonious union. Similarly, in medieval Europe, lovers carried talismans inscribed with romantic symbols or prayers, believing they could deepen their connection and ensure fidelity. This transition from power to love reveals a deeper truth about talismans. They are tools for shaping our most fundamental human experiences. Whether it's the authority of a ruler, the courage of a warrior, or the devotion of a lover, these objects have been used to amplify our intentions and connect us to something greater. They remind us that the lines between the physical and the spiritual, the personal and the collective, are often blurred, and that, in the end, the power of a talisman lies not in the object itself, but in the meaning Chinese letter it. As we explore their role in love and relationships, we'll see how these ancient artifacts continue to inspire and transform, offering a timeless way to navigate the complexities of the human heart. From the grand halls of kings to the quiet corners of the heart, talismans have always held a special place in the realm of love. These objects, often imbued with symbols of devotion and connection, have been used for centuries to attract love, strengthen bonds, and even ensure fidelity. One of the most enduring examples is the Celtic love knot, a beautifully intricate design with no beginning or end. This symbol, often carved into jewelry or inscribed on tokens, represents eternal love and unity. For the Celts, the knot was more than just a decorative motif. It was a promise, a tangible expression of the unbreakable bond between two souls. Whether exchanged as gifts or worn as personal talismans, love knots served as reminders of commitment and the enduring nature of affection. Equally fascinating are the ancient Greek philters, small amulets or charms designed to invoke the power of Aphrodite, the goddess of love. These talismans, often inscribed with symbols of roses or doves, were believed to attract romantic energy and deepen emotional connections. A lover might carry a philters to inspire passion or mend a fractured relationship, trusting in its ability to channel divine favor. The Greeks understood love as a force that could be both nurtured and guided, and these talismans became tools for shaping that force, turning fleeting emotions into lasting bonds. But the symbolism behind these love talismans goes beyond their physical forms. The Celtic love knot, with its endless loops, speaks to the cyclical nature of relationships, how love evolves, grows, and endures through time. Similarly, the Greek philters reflect the belief that love is not just a human experience but a divine gift, one that can be cultivated and protected. These objects remind us that love, in all its forms, is a powerful and transformative energy, one that has inspired humanity for millennia. What's striking is how these ancient symbols continue to resonate in modern relationships. Today, many couples exchange rings or pendants featuring love knots, not just as fashion statements but as personal talismans of their commitment. The philters of ancient Greece have found their counterparts in modern love charms, from heart-shaped lockets to engraved bracelets. These objects, though rooted in the past, remain relevant because they tap into something universal: the desire to connect, to belong, and to create something lasting. Yet, the role of talismans in love extends beyond attraction and devotion. They've also been used in divination, offering insights into the mysteries of the heart. In medieval Europe, for instance, love talismans were sometimes employed in rituals to reveal the feelings of a potential partner or to guide someone toward their true love. These practices, though steeped in mysticism, reflect a deeper truth: that love is as much about intuition and insight as it is about emotion. As we explore the secrets of love talismans, we're reminded that these objects are more than just symbols. They are tools for navigating the complexities of the heart. They invite us to consider not just the nature of love, but how we can nurture and protect it. Whether through ancient knots or modern charms, talismans offer a way to connect with the timeless power of affection, guiding us toward deeper understanding and fulfillment. And as we turn our attention to their role in divination, we'll uncover even more layers of their enduring magic. Talismans have long been more than just symbols of protection or love. They've also played a vital role in divination and fortune-telling, serving as bridges to the unseen and the unknown. Imagine holding an object that not only carries ancient wisdom, but also acts as a key to unlocking hidden truths about the past, present, and future. This is the power of divinatory talismans, tools that have guided seekers for centuries in their quest for insight and clarity. From the intricate symbols etched into rune stones to the enigmatic imagery of tarot cards, these objects are more than mere artifacts. They are conduits for intuition and revelation. Take the practice of rune casting, for example. Originating from the Norse and Germanic traditions, runes are symbols carved into stones or wood, each representing a specific concept or force. When cast or drawn, they form patterns that a diviner interprets to reveal guidance or answers. The runes themselves are talismans, each one a repository of ancient wisdom and energy. A rune like Algiz, for instance, symbolizes protection and divine connection, while Rado represents journeys and transformation. Together, they create a language of symbols that speaks directly to the subconscious, offering insights that logic alone cannot uncover. Similarly, tarot cards, though often associated with modern mysticism, have deep roots in talismanic tradition. Each card in a tarot deck is a miniature talisman, rich with imagery and symbolism designed to evoke intuitive understanding. The High Priestess, with her serene gaze and crescent moon, invites us to explore the mysteries of the subconscious, while the Tower, with its dramatic imagery of upheaval, warns of sudden change and revelation. When a reader shuffles and lays out the cards, they're not just interpreting images, they're engaging with a system of symbols that has been refined over centuries to tap into universal truths. Scrying, another ancient divination practice, also relies on talismanic tools. Crystal balls, mirrors, and even bowls of water can serve as focal points for accessing hidden knowledge. The act of gazing into these objects, allowing the mind to drift into a meditative state, opens a doorway to the subconscious. It's not the object itself that holds the power, but the intention behind its use. A crystal ball, for instance, becomes a talisman when it's charged with the purpose of revealing insights, transforming it from a simple sphere of glass into a tool for divination. What's fascinating is how these practices, rooted in ancient traditions, continue to thrive in modern spirituality. Today, divinatory talismans are used by people from all walks of life, from professional psychics to those simply seeking personal guidance. Rune stones and tarot decks are now widely available, making these tools accessible to anyone curious about their potential. Modern practitioners often personalize their talismans, infusing them with their own energy and intentions, creating a unique connection that enhances their effectiveness. This blending of ancient and modern highlights the enduring relevance of talismans in divination. They remind us that the desire to understand the unknown is a universal human trait, one that transcends time and culture. Whether through runes, tarot, or scrying, these tools offer a way to navigate life's uncertainties, providing clarity and direction in a world that often feels chaotic. As we consider their role in modern spirituality, we'll see how these ancient practices continue to inspire and empower, offering timeless methods for exploring the mysteries of existence. In today's fast-paced, technology-driven world, spirituality has taken on new forms, blending ancient wisdom with modern sensibilities. At the heart of this transformation are talismans, which have found a renewed place in contemporary spiritual practices. No longer confined to the rituals of the past, these objects have been reimagined to reflect the diverse and deeply personal ways people seek meaning and connection in their lives. From intention-setting jewelry to energy-infused crystals, modern talismans are as varied as the individuals who carry them, offering a tangible link to the intangible forces that shape our existence. One of the most striking trends in modern spirituality is the rise of personalized talismans. Unlike the mass-produced charms of earlier centuries, these objects are often crafted with specific intentions in mind. A person might choose a pendant inscribed with a word like courage or peace, wearing it as a daily reminder of their personal goals. Others might create their own talismans, combining materials that resonate with their unique energy, such as a piece of rose quartz for love or a shard of obsidian for protection. This customization reflects a broader shift in spirituality, one that emphasizes individuality and self-discovery over rigid traditions. It's a way for people to take ownership of their spiritual journey, crafting tools that align with their values and aspirations. Energy-infused objects such as charged crystals or meditation bracelets are another hallmark of contemporary talisman use. These items are often believed to carry specific vibrations or frequencies designed to enhance well-being or amplify personal intentions. For example, a mala bead bracelet might be infused with calming energy to aid in meditation, while a crystal grid placed in a home could be used to create a harmonious atmosphere. The process of charging these talismans, whether through rituals, affirmations, or exposure to natural elements like moonlight, adds another layer of intentionality, turning them into active participants in the user's spiritual practice. What's fascinating is how these modern talismans reflect the evolving nature of spirituality in the 21st century. In an era where many feel disconnected from traditional religious structures, these objects offer a way to cultivate a personal sense of the sacred. They bridge the gap between the ancient and the modern, drawing on timeless symbols and practices while adapting to the needs of today's seekers. For some, a talisman might serve as a tool for mindfulness, grounding them in the present moment. For others, it could be a source of inspiration, reminding them of their inner strength and potential. This versatility is part of what makes talismans so enduringly relevant. They can be whatever the individual needs them to be. The cultural significance of talismans in contemporary spirituality cannot be overstated. In a world that often feels fragmented and uncertain, these objects provide a sense of continuity and connection. They remind us that, despite our differences, we share a common desire to find meaning and purpose in our lives. Whether it's a teenager wearing a crystal necklace for confidence or a CEO carrying a small stone for clarity, talismans speak to a universal human experience, the quest to understand ourselves and our place in the world. This blending of ancient tradition and modern innovation also highlights the adaptability of spirituality itself. As our world changes, so too do the ways we seek to connect with the divine, the cosmic, or the inner self. Talismans, in their many forms, serve as a bridge between the old and the new, offering a way to honor the past while embracing the possibilities of the future. They remind us that spirituality is not static but a living, evolving practice, one that continues to inspire and empower no matter the era. And as we explore their cultural significance, we begin to see how these objects are not just personal tools but reflections of a collective journey, one that unites us in our shared humanity. Talismans are more than just objects, they are cultural artifacts, reflecting the deepest values, fears, and aspirations of the societies that create them. Across time and geography, these sacred items have served as mirrors, capturing the essence of what it means to be human in a world filled with both wonder and uncertainty. In ancient Mesopotamia, for example, talismans were often inscribed with prayers to the gods, embodying a society's reverence for divine power and its desire for protection in a harsh and unpredictable environment. These small clay tokens weren't just personal amulets, they were expressions of a collective worldview, one that saw the gods as active participants in daily life. By wearing or carrying these talismans, individuals connected to a shared cultural narrative, reinforcing their place within a larger community. Similarly, in traditional African cultures, talismans known as grai or juju have played a central role in shaping cultural identity. These objects, often crafted by spiritual leaders, are imbued with symbols and materials that reflect the values of the community, values like unity, resilience, and respect for ancestral wisdom. A grai might contain herbs, stones, or even fragments of sacred texts, each element chosen for its symbolic resonance. In this way, talismans become more than personal tools. They are repositories of cultural memory, preserving traditions and beliefs that might otherwise be lost to time. They remind us that culture is not just something we inherit, it's something we carry with us in our hearts and in our hands. The cultural significance of talismans extends beyond their symbolic power. They also serve as bridges between generations. In indigenous cultures across the Americas, talismans are often passed down as heirlooms, carrying the stories and wisdom of ancestors. A Navajo medicine pouch, for instance, might contain stones, feathers, or other sacred items, each one representing a lesson or blessing from those who came before. These objects are not just keepsakes, they are living connections to the past, ensuring that traditions and values endure even as the world changes around them. In this way, talismans become threads in the fabric of cultural continuity, weaving together the old and the new. What's fascinating is how these cultural narratives find expression in art and literature. Talismans have long been a source of inspiration for creators, appearing in myths, poems, and paintings as symbols of hope, transformation, and connection. In the epic tales of ancient Greece, the golden fleece serves as a talisman of kingship and divine favor, its power driving the quest of Jason and the Argonauts. In medieval European literature, the Holy Grail embodies the ultimate spiritual journey, a talisman of enlightenment that transcends its physical form. These stories remind us that talismans are not just objects, they are ideas capable of sparking imagination and shaping the way we see the world. Even in modern art, talismans continue to play a powerful role. Contemporary artists often incorporate talismanic symbols into their work, using them to explore themes of identity, spirituality, and transformation. A painting might feature a labyrinth symbolizing the journey of self-discovery, or a sculpture might include ancient runes, inviting viewers to reflect on the mysteries of existence. These creations are not just art, they are talismans in their own right, offering viewers a way to connect with something greater than themselves. This interplay between talismans and culture reveals a deeper truth, that these objects are not just reflections of society, they are active participants in its evolution. They shape the way we see ourselves and our place in the world, offering a lens through which we can explore our values, our fears, and our dreams. As we consider their role in art and literature, we begin to see talismans as more than symbols, they are storytellers, weaving together the threads of human experience into a tapestry of meaning and connection. And in this shared narrative, we find not just the past, but the potential for a richer, more profound understanding of who we are. Talismans have long been more than physical objects, they are symbols that ignite the imagination, weaving their way into the fabric of art and literature across centuries. From the epic tales of ancient myth to the brushstrokes of Renaissance masters, these artifacts have inspired creators to explore themes of power, destiny, and transformation. In J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings, for instance, the One Ring stands as one of the most iconic literary talismans. This simple band of gold carries immense power, capable of bending the will of entire kingdoms to its bearer. Yet, it's also a symbol of temptation and corruption, a reminder that power, even when wielded with good intentions, can have devastating consequences. The ring isn't just a plot device, it's a mirror reflecting the complexities of human nature and the eternal struggle between light and shadow. Through its journey, Tolkien invites us to consider the weight of responsibility and the choices that define us, lessons that resonate far beyond the pages of his story. Similarly, in the visual arts, talismans have served as powerful motifs, often imbued with layers of meaning. During the Renaissance, artists like Albrecht Dürer and Sandro Botticelli incorporated talismanic symbols into their work, blending spiritual and artistic expression. Dürer's famous engraving Melancholia features a magic square, a talismanic grid of numbers believed to hold protective and harmonizing properties. This square, placed alongside enigmatic figures and objects, creates a sense of mystery and depth, inviting viewers to ponder the interplay between art, mathematics, and the divine. Botticelli, on the other hand, infused his paintings with astrological symbols, turning celestial talismans into visual poetry. In works like The Birth of Venus, the goddess's emergence from the sea is framed by stars and planets, suggesting a cosmic harmony that transcends the earthly realm. These artists didn't just depict talismans, they used them as tools to explore the boundaries of human understanding, blending beauty with profound philosophical inquiry. But the influence of talismans isn't confined to the distant past. In modern literature, they continue to play a vital role, shaping narratives and deepening themes. Take, for example, the Horcruxes in J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series. These dark talismans, each containing a fragment of a soul, are more than mere plot points. They symbolize the dangers of obsession and the lengths to which people will go to defy mortality. Through the Horcruxes, Rowling explores the idea that power, when pursued at any cost, can fracture the soul and distance us from our humanity. It's a theme that echoes across cultures and eras, reminding us that talismans, whether real or fictional, often reflect our deepest fears and desires. The impact of talismans extends beyond individual works, shaping entire genres and movements. In fantasy literature, they are a recurring motif, serving as keys to hidden worlds, sources of magic, or symbols of destiny. In science fiction, they often take the form of advanced technology or artifacts, representing humanity's quest for knowledge and control. Even in contemporary art, talismans appear as metaphors for personal transformation, embodying the struggle to find meaning in a chaotic world. Their versatility as symbols makes them a powerful tool for storytellers and artists, allowing them to explore universal themes in ways that resonate with audiences across time and culture. What's particularly fascinating is how these depictions influence our understanding of talismans in real life. When we see a talisman in a painting or read about one in a novel, it's not just a fictional device, it's a reflection of the human experience. These representations remind us that talismans, whether in art or reality, are about more than magic or protection. They are about connection, identity, and the search for something greater than ourselves. They invite us to ask questions: what do we value, what do we fear, and what do we hope to achieve? As we turn our attention to their role in popular culture, we see how talismans continue to captivate and inspire. From blockbuster films to video games, they remain a powerful symbol, bridging the gap between the ancient and the modern. Whether it's the infinity stones of the Marvel Universe or the enchanted artifacts of The Legend of Zelda, these objects remind us of the enduring appeal of talismans, not just as sources of power, but as mirrors of our collective imagination. They challenge us to dream, to question, and to explore the mysteries that lie at the heart of existence. And in doing so, they reveal the timeless magic of storytelling itself. From the pages of ancient myths to the glowing screens of modern entertainment, talismans have found a new stage in popular culture. These objects of power, once confined to the realms of history and spirituality, now captivate audiences worldwide through movies, TV shows, and video games. Perhaps the most iconic example is the One Ring from The Lord of the Rings. This unassuming band of gold is far more than a piece of jewelry. It's a symbol of ultimate power, capable of bending the will of entire civilizations. Yet, it's also a cautionary tale, a reminder of the corrupting influence of unchecked ambition. The One Ring isn't just a plot device. It's a mirror reflecting humanity's complex relationship with power and the choices that define us. Its journey from the fires of Mount Doom to the hands of Frodo Baggins resonates with audiences because it speaks to something universal: the struggle between light and shadow within us all. Similarly, the Horcruxes in Harry Potter offer a darker take on talismans. These cursed objects, each containing a fragment of Voldemort's soul, are more than mere artifacts. They are symbols of the lengths to which people will go to defy death. The Horcruxes embody the dangers of obsession, showing how the pursuit of immortality can fracture the soul and distance us from our humanity. Through these objects, J.K. Rowling explores themes of sacrifice, redemption, and the cost of power, weaving them into a narrative that has captivated millions. The Horcruxes aren't just magical items, they are metaphors for the choices we make and the legacies we leave behind. In video games, talismans often take on a more interactive role, becoming tools for players to shape their own stories. In the Legend of Zelda series, the Triforce is a recurring talisman of immense power, embodying the balance of courage, wisdom, and power. Its fragmented form reflects the idea that true strength comes from harmony, not dominance. Players aren't just observers of the Triforce's power, they become active participants in its story, making choices that determine the fate of the game's world. This interactive element adds a new dimension to the talisman's role, transforming it from a static symbol into a dynamic force that shapes the player's journey. What's fascinating is how these portrayals shape public perception of talismans. In popular culture, they are often depicted as objects of immense power, capable of altering destinies or reshaping worlds. This portrayal taps into a deep-seated fascination with the unknown, the mystical, and the extraordinary. Yet, these stories also carry a cautionary undertone, reminding us that power, when misused, can have devastating consequences. The One Ring, the Horcruxes, and the Triforce aren't just sources of magic, they are mirrors, reflecting our own desires, fears, and moral dilemmas. These depictions also influence how we think about real-world talismans. When we see a character wield a talisman in a movie or game, it's not just entertainment, it's a reflection of the human experience. These stories remind us that talismans, whether fictional or real, are about more than magic or protection. They are about connection, identity, and the search for something greater than ourselves. They invite us to ask questions: what do we value, what do we fear, and what do we hope to achieve? As we look to the future, it's clear that talismans will continue to evolve, both in popular culture and in our lives. Advances in technology are already blurring the lines between the physical and the digital, opening up new possibilities for how we interact with these objects. Imagine a virtual talisman in a video game, its power shaped by the player's choices and actions. Or consider augmented reality, where a talisman's energy could be projected into the real world, creating a tangible connection between the digital and the physical. These innovations hint at a future where talismans are not just relics of the past but dynamic tools for navigating the complexities of modern life. The enduring appeal of talismans in popular culture speaks to their timeless relevance. They remind us that, despite our differences, we share a common desire to connect with something greater, whether it's the magic of a fictional world or the mysteries of our own existence. As we continue to explore their role in stories and media, we uncover new layers of meaning, new ways to understand ourselves and the world around us. And in this ever-evolving narrative, talismans remain a powerful symbol, bridging the gap between the ancient and the modern, the real and the imagined. Their journey is far from over, it's just beginning. As we stand at the crossroads of tradition and innovation, the future of talismans beckons with both mystery and promise. In a world where technology evolves faster than ever and spiritual beliefs shift to reflect our modern lives, how might these ancient symbols of power and protection adapt? Imagine a talisman not carved from stone or inscribed on parchment, but designed in the digital realm, a virtual object pulsating with light and energy, accessible through a smartphone app or a wearable device. This isn't science fiction, it's a glimpse into a future where the sacred and the technological intertwine in ways we're only beginning to understand. One intriguing possibility lies in the realm of digital talismans. Picture this, a symbol generated by artificial intelligence, tailored to your unique energy and intentions. Using algorithms rooted in ancient symbolism and modern psychology, an AI could craft a talisman that resonates with your personal goals, whether it's finding courage, fostering creativity, or seeking inner peace. These digital designs could be displayed on screens, projected into augmented reality, or even integrated into smart jewelry, blending the old with the new in seamless harmony. The idea of a talisman that evolves alongside you, adapting to your needs in real time, opens up a world of possibilities for how we engage with these ancient tools in a digital age. But what about their spiritual significance? In an increasingly secular world where traditional religious practices are often replaced by personalized spirituality, talismans might take on new roles. They could become symbols of mindfulness, tools for self-reflection, or even reminders of our connection to the natural world. For some, a talisman might serve as a digital companion, offering daily affirmations or guided meditations through an app. For others, it could be a tangible object infused with personal meaning, a bridge between the physical and the digital, the ancient and the modern. The rise of AI-generated symbols also raises fascinating questions about authenticity and intention. Traditionally, the power of a talisman has been tied to the energy and focus of the person who creates it. If a machine designs a symbol, does it carry the same weight? Or does the power lie in the meaning we assign to it, regardless of its origin? These are questions that challenge our understanding of spirituality and technology, inviting us to explore how belief and innovation can coexist in the 21st century. As we ponder the future of talismans, it's worth reflecting on the journey they've taken so far, from the clay amulets of Mesopotamia to the gold pendants of ancient Egypt, from the rune stones of Norse warriors to the crystal grids of modern energy healers. Through every era, talismans have adapted to meet the needs of the people who carry them, evolving in form and function while retaining their core purpose, to connect us with something greater than ourselves. Whether they are etched in stone, cast in metal, or coded in software, talismans remain a testament to humanity's enduring quest for meaning, protection, and transformation. Looking ahead, one thing is clear: the power of talismans doesn't lie in their materials or designs, but in the stories we tell about them and the beliefs we attach to them. As long as we seek connection, guidance, and purpose, these objects, whether ancient or digital, will continue to hold a place in our lives. They remind us that, no matter how much the world changes, the human spirit remains constant, forever searching for ways to navigate the mysteries of existence. And in that search, we find not just the future of talismans, but the future of ourselves. As we reach the end of our journey through the secrets of ancient talismans, it's worth pausing to reflect on the profound insights we've uncovered. From their earliest origins in the clay amulets of Mesopotamia to the intricate symbols etched into the talismans of medieval Europe, these objects have always been more than mere artifacts. They are windows into the human experience. They reveal a universal longing for connection, protection, and transformation, a desire to bridge the gap between the seen and the unseen, the physical and the spiritual. Whether crafted to ward off evil, attract love, or channel divine energy, talismans have served as tools for navigating the mysteries of existence, offering a tangible way to engage with forces beyond our understanding. What's remarkable is how these ancient practices continue to resonate in our modern world. Today, talismans take many forms, from crystal pendants worn for healing to digital symbols designed with AI. They've evolved alongside us, adapting to new contexts while retaining their core purpose: to inspire, protect, and transform. Whether you're drawn to the historical significance of these objects, their spiritual symbolism, or their potential for personal growth, Talismans invite you to explore your own connection to the unseen, to find meaning in the symbols that speak to you most deeply. This journey through the world of talismans has shown us that their power lies not just in their materials or designs, but in the stories we tell about them and the intentions we infuse them with. They remind us that the sacred is not confined to temples or ancient texts. It can be found in the small, intentional moments of our lives. A talisman, whether ancient or modern, becomes a mirror, reflecting our values, our fears, and our dreams. It's a tool for navigating life's uncertainties, a reminder that we are part of something greater than ourselves. As we close this exploration, consider how talismans might play a role in your own life. Perhaps you'll find inspiration in the historical rituals of their creation, or maybe you'll be drawn to their spiritual symbolism. You might even create your own talisman, infusing it with your unique intentions and aspirations. The beauty of these objects is that they are as diverse as the people who carry them, offering endless possibilities for connection and discovery. To leave you with a final thought, consider this quote by the philosopher Carl Jung: "Man needs difficulties, they are necessary for health." What concerns us here is only an excessive amount of them. Talismans, in their many forms, remind us that the challenges we face are not insurmountable. They are opportunities for growth, for transformation, for connection. They invite us to embrace the mysteries of life, to find strength in the symbols that resonate with us, and to carry that strength forward into the world. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Have you ever carried a talisman, or do you have a favorite symbol that holds special meaning in your life? Share your stories and experiences in the comments below. Let's continue this conversation and uncover even more layers of the timeless allure of these mysterious objects. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and remember, the power of a talisman lies not just in its form, but in the meaning you Chinese letter it. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep exploring the mysteries that connect us all.